So how I got connected to Def Jam is because of my wonderful mentor slash friend slash amazing producer here in the Southeast Asian region, or actually in Asian region, Sona One. I was dropping my freestyles on Instagram. I don't have SoundCloud. Like again, like I said, I didn't really see my full potential. And sometimes it takes someone else to see it and shine that light on you and say, hey, you're actually more capable than you think. So I remember I dropped a freestyle to Berserk by Big Sean and all that. So like from there, that video went viral in my country, and then he instantly hit me up. And then he was like, yo, like this is fire. You want to come by to the studio, that conversation. And for me, because I didn't have a lot of like musicians who are my friends, I'm like, okay, I've heard about the music industry a lot, and I heard how dodgy people can be, you know? So like, can I trust this person? Because he's somewhat of a big person here in my country and like, you know, in other countries as well. So, you know, thankfully I had a friend who sort of knows him as well. And she's like, he's the most genuine person in the music industry. And she's right. And I'm so glad that because of him, I took a chance, and his manager who's now managing all of us is the person that I met up with. And that's how I got into Def Jam. At that time, like they were just opening the branch Def Jam Southeast Asia here in Malaysia. So I didn't know that they were like looking for anybody. If anything, they were pretty much still open. But then because of Sona, he brought me into this new world. So I really thank him a lot for that. Yeah. Oh my God, there's so many things that I've learned from Sona, but I think the biggest thing that I've learned from him so far is just do it. Like literally Nike, just do it. But like, it's literally just doing it. Like, you know, if you say you want something, you go do it. If you have an idea, you go make it happen. And yeah, you could have a lot of like, you know, reservations, and you could always have a lot of self-doubt. But if the fear of failure overrides like the possibilities of how big you can grow as a person, and I'm not talking about artistically, but you as your own spiritual growth in whatever aspect, if you're gonna choose failure over that growth, then you're the one that at lost here, you know? And so he taught me that. If anything, he taught me to just do it and to just not be afraid of this very big, scary music machine itself, but know that you have people with you, the right people. And if you are, like, honestly, I always believe if you are genuinely a good person and if you have the right intentions, people will attract to you, you know? So yeah, basically that, just doing it and not giving a fuck. It's been a roller coaster when it comes to my creative process during the pandemic, mostly because you would think that when you're signed into Def Jam, you would straight up go to a studio and work with an international artist face to face. But no, the whole entire time we made my track through FaceTime in a studio. So for me, it's just like such a unique but like fun experience, because all you need is that. Like all you need is the internet and strong connection. And then if you guys are really vibing, you could catch that. So that's how I kind of like just went along with it. And then definitely there's moments of like, okay, I can't come up with anything. And I think that's because, you know, when you kind of like are cut from society, if I can say, because a lot of things that the outside world gives us so much inspiration. And when you're in pandemic, you can't really do that. It kind of like also pushes you to be like, okay, how do I think differently regardless of the circumstance? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. And even if it doesn't work, I think recently I learned this, is that it's okay, you know, because like you're not gonna, you just got to keep working on your craft, but don't expect like it's gonna be, oh, this one's gonna be like the next hit or whatever. Even for me, in the way beginning with all my songs that I did thus far, I never really thought about like, oh, it being a hit or anything, because I feel like that is the limiting factor itself. If you already said that you want this thing to be like a hit, then you're kind of like expecting yourself for more big of a failure rather than enjoying the process. You kind of take away the whole fun aspect of making music on its own. So reminding myself that, okay, you don't need to be pressured to make something. You just do like a song halfway and that's already enough. And if you kind of like, let me sit on that, let me work on something else, it's fine. Or even if you're in studio and you're not really making anything, but you're making connection, that's already like a form of inspiration growing already that you can take out of and then, you know, write it down and all that. So if anything, pandemic made me more connected to the experience and the vibes more than like just connecting to the music on its own. So yeah. So when I was making PrettyGirlBop with Sona, like I didn't even have actually not that I didn't have it in mind, but when we were making the beat and everything, I remember that like when I first joined Def Jam, at the top of my head, but I didn't say it to anybody, I was like, the first artist that I would ever want to collaborate with or have a feature with is Young Raja. But like I said, the power of manifestation. And the thing is, part of manifesting is that you don't expect it, but you also don't need it. You don't crave for it, but you're just like optimistic, right? Like if it happens, right? So then I remember, okay, so we were making the beat and then we got really excited about it. And then Sona played that beat to him and I did not know. And then like, he brought me over on FaceTime, be like, yo, I played this beat to Young Raja. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is the first time I met him. And I was already a fan of him because of Mad Blessings, you know? So I still kept that secret away from them, that in my head, I was like, oh my God, like this is happening. Like I manifested this, like this is happening. So then like, you know, we were having the conversation and then we're like, yo, you should get on this beat. And then next thing I know is that like, okay, now we have a single together. And then when the output already came out, that's when I told Sona and I told Young Raja that, hey, by the way, like I sort of like manifested this because like I didn't want to say it until it is out, but because I felt like it might jinx it. But like I was like saying that I remember I had a strong pull and a strong gut feeling to be like, he's gonna be the first person that I'm gonna work with. Don't know how, don't know why, but I just know it. And then I just kind of kept that to myself. And then we just only met through FaceTime, never met face to face because of the borders. But I hope when we do, we get to make some more songs. So yeah.